All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 507 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller over here. We talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. And we're going to talk about some Atlanta Falcons football today because it is Thursday and the game is coming up, really close when it comes to Sunday. And with all the things that are going on, I know a lot of people really not focused on the game because we still worrying about, Damar Hamlin. Prayers up to him and his family. Hopefully he will recover as soon as possible. But the games will go on, so we're going to talk about the games, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on just what the Falcons need to do. They don't need to do nothing special. They just need to play their game, and I'm going to give you my reason why behind that. So we're going to talk about that. If this is your first time here, welcome. I could be found on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. So if you want to find out or listen to the show in any capacity at your leisure, those avenues are available. If you want to watch the visual side, YouTube and Rumble is where it's at. I want to thank you guys for all the support that's been coming my way lately. You guys are awesome, amazing. I know it's starting to be a downtrend on the football content because Georgia Southern football season is over, but we do have some commits and some recruiting to do. So even though the diehards are going to be around, hopefully the casuals will stick around as well and become diehard fans. And with the Falcons season pretty much done and the off season and is now, it's kind of like a downtrend on that as well. But we're going to talk about this game against the Bucs. Give my thoughts and opinions on that. Before I get started, this show is brought to you by BetUS. Click that link down in the description. Join BetUS. Put down $100. Get 125% bet book bonus. It is very, I think it's a very good deal. You get that. You can bet on a lot of games, especially with some of the games that are coming up. Saturday, you got Jacksonville playing Tennessee, Kansas City playing Las Vegas. You also have the Rams playing the Seahawks, which that game right there is going to be pretty interesting, even though the Rams aren't the team that they are, that we thought they'd be. With Baker Mayfield, I think they can cover that 7 points. New York Giants at Philadelphia, that's another game that you may want to look at. Plus 13 is a really big number for that game. I expect the New York Giants to cover that as well. A couple other games of note that I want to come across. Arizona, San Francisco, that's a really big gap there, 14-point gap. The spread, that's a little big. You can win some money off of that. And also the Dallas Washington Commanders game is another one that, you can possibly get some on that as well. I think that, I think Washington could possibly cover that. It all depends on what the quarterback does. Because you don't understand, this time of the year, a lot of players not going to be playing or whatever the case may be. So with that being said, a lot of games are going to be a lot closer than what you're thinking they'll be. A lot of these big spreads are not going to, I don't think they're going to hold up. So if you put down that money, like I said, $100, get 125% bet book bonus, go in there and bet on any of those games, the ones that I just mentioned, and you're good to go. Also, don't just think it's NFL. You can also do you also do the national title game, and you can do basketball, MMA, esports, all that stuff under that umbrella. So click that link. It helps the channel. And hopefully you guys will be successful on some of your wages. Goodness, I talked a lot about that. I'm kind of excited about that because this is a good time to win some wages on that. I mean, the spreads are like ridiculous. The Atlanta Falcons just need to play their game. Just point blank period. They just need to play their game. And what I mean by that is just go out there, try to execute your game plan as best as possible, offense, defense, and special teams. I don't think, and I know this is going to sound kind of contradictory because I like to say that tanking is not allowed. I don't think anybody go out there and tank. But I think this is one of the occasions where this is the last game of the season. A lot of teams pretty much not trying to play too serious. So, especially with Tampa Bay knowing that they won the division, I don't think they can go no higher than 4 on the 4th seed. And the Falcons are pretty much, you're pretty much vying for, who wants to be on the team as far as who wants to play next year. There's a lot of money on the table when it comes to the salary cap and what the Falcons are going to have available. I mean, they're going to have a lot of money available, over $100 million in cap space. So if you want to play the best of your ability, you may want to do that now because, coaches and staff are really looking at who's coming up and be up and coming. I guess that makes sense on what, this team, the makeup of this team could be. I already heard rumblings that, re-signing AJ Terrell is a priority. I heard there was another person as well. I can't remember. It didn't, come across my mind real quick. But I know AJ Terrell is pretty much a priority. And I think it was Lindstrom. I think Lindstrom is the guy that they're going to be trying to sign. But there's other guys out there that just need to, play the best of their ability. Play their game and just try to execute one play at a time, and whatever may happen, happens. I think the Falcons are capable of beating the Bucs. They were in earlier this season. And I think the Bucs are worse than what they were the time that we played them then. So I know that we could win this game. I believe so, but I'm not looking for them to win this game. And I'm not saying that they're going to go out there and try to just not win. Like I said, I'm not a proponent of tanking or whatever the case may be. But I will say this team just needs to just figure out who they're going to carry over for next year. And I'm pretty sure Coach may not have said that to the team as a whole, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be evaluating because, like I said, ever since they realized they was knocked out of the playoffs picture or the division title, they were, the offseason start right away. So you need to evaluate the talent that you have, and you got guys that out there that are playing their butt off, like Isaiah Oliver, who had a great game last game against the Cardinals. I expect him to try that again because he was on his way to be a top-notch nickelback before he went down to ACL injury back in 2020. He did a phenomenal job. He's one of those holdovers from Dan Quinn that's actually holding up as a pretty good football player. So if he doesn't get a job with the Falcons, somebody's going to pick him up because he looks like he wants to play ball. He looks like he wants to be in a culture of winning. And the Falcons can make that happen. It's just that you just got to get the certain pieces together. You got to get the manpower or you just got to get the personnel to make that happen. And like I said, with this game against the Bucs, that's all they need to do. They don't have to do anything special. They don't have to do anything out of the way. They don't have to do anything, that's really something that's really a big deal to try to, go out of your way to win this game. Just play your game. Play the game that you know that you can execute. Run the ball effectively when you can. Get guys in the open space and let Desmond Ridder complete some passes. Let these guys get in a rhythm. Try to find a way to stay on the football field. Just play football. Just play football. You don't have to do much outside of that. So I feel that no matter what happens in this game, it's all about evaluating talent at this point. You're 6-10. You got a really good chance to go 7-10, and pretty much basically match the total of wins that you had last year, which is actually pretty impressive. Even though I felt like the team could have went 9-8, but when you have a guy like Marcus Mariota, who was not the best in my opinion, I don't think he did a pretty good job. But all in all, I still feel that he was capable of getting things done when it comes to actually being a leader on the team. It's just that his time was up, and then you turn around and get Desmond Ridder in, and game by game, Desmond Ridder is looking pretty nice. You know what I mean? Desmond Ridder started off a little shaky against the Saints, and he did a little bit better against the Ravens, and he looked pretty decent against the Arizona Cardinals. I kind of expect them to do the same thing, is to continue to progress. And if he continues to progress to the point where you're looking at a possible win because of his talent and the fact that he's getting the grasp of the game that well and spoil, the Buccaneers, finale and possibly last regular season game for Tom Brady, you're looking at a guy that's going to, that I will feel at that point is definitely going to be QB1 going into next year. So I feel that's going to be solidified. I think Tyler Algier is RB1. I think that has been solidified. Drake London is WR1. I think that's been solidified. And we need to be looking for a number 2 receiver. And I think also we might want to bolster up the offensive line just a little bit more. I think they did pretty good for the most part this year. It wasn't as bad as it were last year. but I think you want to get another player or two on the offensive line. Defensively, we all know we need to get the pass rush going, so we're going to be watching what they do once again throughout this game against the Bucs. Can somebody step up and show what they can do to possibly stay on the team? There's no doubt Grady Jarrett, Ebiketie, I think those two are locks. Those two are going to be there. Also, the linebackers, Troy Anderson is probably going to be that guy. Rashad Evans is going to be that guy. I think he's going to stay. And Lorenzo Carter, I don't know if I think he's somewhat of a tweener. Is he a pass rusher, or is he a linebacker? Either or, he's done very good at that position. I think those three guys are probably going to be re-signed, because I ain't gonna say three guys, because Troy Anderson's already locked in. He's locked in for a few years, but you got Rashawn Evans and Lorenzo Carter on 1-year deals. Keeping neither one of those is fine, but having both is even better. And when it comes to the secondary, like I said earlier, they're already talking about keeping A.J. Terrell. Isaiah Oliver is another one that's looking good. Richie Grant, I like Richie Grant, and I think he's probably going to end up staying on a team, in my opinion, because he hasn't done anything outrageously bad for him to lose the job. There's been some plays that have been like, all right, what is this? But there's also been some times where it's like, okay, I see what he's doing. He's doing all right. So it's a lot to think about when it comes to his situation. I don't know how that's going to play out, but I will say that I would like to see him on the team. But if he's not, I kind of get it, because a lot of people, including myself, had some times when I looked at him and like, oh man, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? But there's other times where Richie Grant has shined, not broken tackle, but breaking up passes, blocking punts, tackles at the right time, a stellar coverage that nobody's throwing his way. There's been times that he's shined at the same time. So, and also he is Arthur Smith and Dean Pease's guy. So it's probably going to be a little bit harder for them to let him go like that. But all in all the Falcons need to do is just play their game. We talked about everything from the offense to the defense. As far as special teams go, the only person I know that really sticks out on special team is I think it's Avery Williams and Cordell Patterson. I think Cordell is in his second year of the contract that he signed. I'm gonna have to make a whole episode on Cordell Patterson, because I'm not sure if they actually re-sign him. I would love to see it, but just my gut feeling, I'm not sure if they actually re-sign him. And it's not because they don't want him. I think it's just because it's probably, I don't know. It just gut feeling. I'll just say that. It's just gut feeling. I don't know. But we'll see. From the offensive line side, Chris Lindstrom is a priority. A couple other guys, I think it's Chris Lindstrom. Please, if I'm wrong, please correct me. I'm pretty sure they're going to try to bring more guys for the offensive line. Defensive line, we already talked about that. The ones that are locks, the linebackers that we want to keep, in my opinion, and we're going to try to bolster up that secondary. I think the Casey Hayward situation may not return for next year, but I would not be against it, because Casey Hayward wasn't that bad. He just got injured, so we'll see how that goes. So I don't know what else to say. Let me know what you guys think. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click that link down in the description, BetUS. Click that link, and that will help the channel. Put $100 down, get a 125% bet book bonus. Put some wages on some of these games that are coming up that I mentioned earlier, and hopefully you'll win some money in return. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble, Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. And I want you guys to enjoy your Thursday. Hopefully everything goes well for you guys. I'm going to get up out of here. I think I said my piece. All the Falcons need to do against the Bucs is just play their game. You don't have to do anything crazy or anything like that. Just evaluate the talent that we have, and hopefully we'll walk over the W. If not, it's okay, because we're still going to be in the process of bouncing back for next season. All right, y'all. Y'all take it easy, and y'all be blessed. Peace.